Um, this is my review of like the Met and the National Art or National History Museum. I liked the Met better. It's just, I don't know. I like looking at that stuff. I like to work at the Met. I don't really like the National History Museum. It's a little boring. I really want to like night at the museum from that. But that's like besides the point. The Met was really, really nice. I mean, it was like fancy and everything, but the way it was just like managed was great. It was beautiful. I mean, like the front, there's a lot of steps and stuff, but I could definitely tell there's accessibility everywhere. Everything was like easy to get to. And there was that big fancy staircase that you could take if you want. But all of the exhibits, they weren't like you didn't have to go through like stairs to get to a specific exhibit or do anything like that. Like there were ramps, but there were also elevators everywhere. Which the elevators, there were a lot of them. They were really nice. The staff there was great. Like everybody I interacted with, like even the slightest, was super polite and super outgoing, which was great. I mean, like a lot of other like experiences with like staff at like places like those, they're kind of like snotty sometimes. But the staff was really great. That big main room where you could get like tickets and everything. I don't know what it's called, but that was like really well managed. Like there was a lot of people in there consistently, and it was like you could just tell it could like break into chaos if like it wanted to, but the staff did like a really good job of making sure that like everyone knew where everything was, everyone was like attested to, everyone got like attention if they needed it, or like help if they needed it, and they kept that like well under wraps, which I thought that was really impressive and great on the staff. I would lose it if I had to do that. And the staff that dealt with like the like finance aspect of it, they were great. I mean, like we would walk up in groups of like 10, 15 kids and be like, how much you want to pay? And we'd be like 10 cents. And they like wouldn't bat an eye or give us like any like, I guess like negative feedback on it, or like treat us like what the heck, like that's, you know. I think that was great because I kind of expected them to be like, oh, really only gonna pay like 10 cents for like 13 kids, but they like didn't care, didn't take it personal or like make it personal for us. They were just like, okay, yeah, like enjoy your time. They were great with everything. The exhibits were really well done. If you had a question, there was always somebody there that like they could answer like a question on like where the bathrooms were or like something specific about the exhibit, which I thought was impressive. And then at the National History Museum, it was nice. It was definitely a little bit harder to navigate. I don't know if it was just like bigger than the Met. I don't think it was, but it was like I had a hard time navigating all of it. We tried to find dinosaurs, like that big thing, and we really like struggled with that. I don't know why. We just couldn't find it for anything. But I just always felt like a little confused and lost in there. But that could have just been us. They had accessibility too. They had elevators everywhere. They had an elevator for that one big exhibit where there's like the animals, where there's that huge whale and everything. They had elevators there. They had elevators to all the floors. They had staff on all floors. Their staff was really great too. But I'd say from like business standpoints, they do very well. Plus, I mean, they're really prestigious and really nice to be in. But I'd say overall they did a pretty great job. So yeah, I enjoyed the trip. It was nice. Yeah.